Welcome, everybody, to Deep Roots Games. Name this podcast episode 4. And I'm here with Spike and Highball. Oh, what's going on? Oh, guys.
What's up, my brother?
Guys, are you ready to talk today? Bow, let's talk. Bow.
Yes. You notice my gigantic new drum set that I have installed in the podcast room?
Styling and profiling. Oh,
Hey,
Highball.
did I say you could play my drums?
Professional drummer.
Oh, there.
Got them pro drums. Pro drums. All right, guys. So we're here today. We have some topics on hand. One thing I gotta say to you guys is happy Saturday night. How's your Saturday night going?
Aw, thank you, Mr. Roots. That's so nice of you. It's been a good Saturday, man. I'm loving it. No work. Love it.
What about you, Highball? What you been up to today? Having a good day so far?
It's A-okay. Not bad, not terrific, but it's A-okay.
A-okay. Better than shitty. All right. So, Highball, I've heard your topic. What is your topic today for the guys, for the tribe out there?
Alright, so it is Saturday, October 6th, and approximately less than 23 and a half hours from now, we will have the premiere of Season 9 of The Walking Dead on AMC will be happening. For anybody who's going to be tuning in at 9 o'clock on AMC, there will also be a prior to 9 o'clock bonus special of Walking Dead that covers everything from Season 1 until 8. And it's that time of year, everybody. Halloween this month, plus zombies are back.
Hot zombie action. Spike, are you ready for some hot zombie action?
Well, remind me again what season we're on, Highball?
Season 142.
Oh my God, it's never gonna
Yeah.
end.
Because
Season 9.
it does feel like that. I mean, I know it's the cool thing to do to hate on Walking Dead nowadays, but I mean, let's be honest, most of it's true. Like, we all know the old adage when it comes to TV shows that 6 seasons and a movie is like the best. Like, that's what you shoot for. 6 and a movie, maybe. And all the good ones had that, you know? Everything that goes over 6 is just like, it starts to get like, okay, we've seen it, we've done it, boring. Like, I mean, look at The Office. I mean, what was the last couple seasons of The Office? I mean, we even lost Steve Carell, and it just got shitty. So Walking Dead is falling into that. I mean, we've done everything I think we could do in a zombie apocalypse. I mean, we even had a tiger attacking people. I mean, what's left?
What? Wait, what?
Oh yeah, you didn't watch the season with the guy who has a pet tiger?
Oh my God!
Yeah,
What in
spoilers.
the...
Spoilers for anybody who doesn't watch the show or is trying to catch up, but yeah, that happened.
Jesus,
So,
yeah, that's done.
I'm going to take the side of the more negative aspect in this debate here. In my personal opinion, I think it just needs to come to a close, and they just need to finish it. But it looks like they're just going to milk that cow teat for all that milky milk. Give me that sweet money milk. So, yeah, I'm not excited. What about you guys?
Highball, are you excited?
So if you're the negative side, I'll be the positive side. I am not a Walking Dead heretic. I'm not a Walking Dead, believer. It still is a good show in my eyes because it's still entertaining and compelling with the writing. The length that it's been on for 9 seasons, I remember saying this back in like season 2 or 3 that this is going to become a decade show because the comics are there's still so much in the comics that they could still do on the show. And Robert Kirkman, the creator of Walking Dead comic, and everything Walking Dead, who got behind the idea of making the series work, like he has said over time and time again that Walking Dead's not ending anytime soon. Like,
Sorry.
So at season 9, and he says that, and he's said that for years, like 2-3 years now, that it's not ending anytime soon. That it'll go on as long as the comic's going on. And the talk that the comic line is actually coming to an end, but no one knows. No one can see the end in sight. As for where it stands as a TV series and everything that they've done, and as if there isn't anything else they can do, that I don't find is true, because there is so much more they can do. There are two other story arcs that follow what they just did these last 2 seasons that can fill up a lot of time, and like the fact that it's still an hour-long show and they get as much time as they can in every season to just delve into everything. I understand what people dropped in caring about after season 2 and 3, that like it became about a lot of talking. Well, there's always going to be that, like, especially if it's a comic book that you make into a TV series that you want on full time, like the fans of the comic book love the comic because of the story, because of the character, because of the zombies. The TV series, it's a whole other beast. Like, those who read the comics, if they say that they're not appreciative of the TV series and what it offers, it's offered exactly what the comic books have. But for those that never read the comics, of course they're going to not enjoy a show that gets into more talking and character introduction and relationships, because they didn't read the comics to understand that that's what makes the comic work. And as for like where the show stands now as season 9, like the fact that you've had so many actors leave the show, not just by getting written off and killed, but just leave because they don't want to be on anymore. Like Lauren Cohan, who plays Maggie, she's leaving this season on top of the big Andrew Lincoln departure.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. I mean, that's got to be a sign that to like the producers and stuff that even your main actors don't want to stick around anymore. I mean, come on, just end it. Like, it's gonna
kill
turn out...
everyone.
Zombies
win.
That would be cool. If they had the balls to do that, I would watch that finale. I would totally watch it, but they don't. They're not gonna like have the zombies win or whatever.
Well, the whole like motivation of this season, they've even changed the intro to the show. I actually watched the leaked, not leaked, but they actually teased the intro of Walking Dead series just the other day, and it's they overhauled the whole intro. So now it's more animated, so it looks kind of like it's like black and white. It almost looks like the Walking Dead Telltale game. Actually, the intro is very animated with that kind of motion and stuff, and it shows rebuilding. It shows like a dead tree with crows on it, and all of a sudden the crows blossom into a full tree, so the tree's reborn again. And then it shows rebuilding of fences being built back up, and then the windmill coming together and stuff. So it's showing you that after 9 seasons, things are now getting to be where civilization can actually prosper. Like in all the seasons ago, that Alexandria.
Wait a sec. Wait. I seem to remember that being the premise when they were in the prison, right? Oh, it's getting back to normal. Look, we have crops. We're a farmer now. Like they've done this storyline already. And then what? We're gonna have the next big baddie. What is it? The Whisperers, right? They're gonna be the next governor / Negan / whatever. It just seems like the same story arc.
Recycle.
Well, then that's how your perspective is. Then you wouldn't care about the comic book. Then, like, you would read it up to a certain point, and you'd be like, "I'm done reading this," because you would feel it's repetitive. Then, because that's exactly how the comic plays out. Negan comes in, does all this stuff, and then they beat Negan, and the Whisperers come in and do all this stuff, and da da da. Like, but to take the formula of a comic book and put it on TV, it doesn't work because you need more time to fill it, more gaps to fill.
Oh boy, do they fill it!
And to go back to your statement, of how the old format used to be 6 seasons and a movie used to be good. Like, I don't really remember many shows being like that. I know Firefly, 1 season got canceled, and then they came back years later with Serenity, which is a great damn movie, and that worked out. But other shows that have gone only 6 seasons, most of the time it's usually TV series that last 5 or 6, usually get canceled because they're not that popular. Like shows, it's
like
more
Community?
ballpark. Like it's more ballpark than like 7 to 8 seasons, or pretty much what the big hit shows are. Like 24. 24 was a big hit show, and then around season 5 it started to dwindle, and then they ended it at the end of season 7. But aside from that, like Walking Dead being Walking Dead, I understand the disappointment that's come from a lot of people that like even you can see it in the zombie count that there aren't as many zombies on the show anymore. But there are, if you look at it as a whole. Like, I was just thinking about this the other day, actually, that, like, in a fantasy world where the world is post-apocalyptic and it's ransacked with zombies, everywhere in the world's not going to have zombies. Because not everywhere in the world actually has people. Like, there are some islands out there that do not have people on them, so there would not be zombies there.
But in that world, can't zombies, like, walk on the bottom of the ocean and they can just show up wherever?
I don't know. I've never seen it on the show.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Fear the Walking Dead had zombies walking out of the beach, out of the ocean, up onto the beach.
Well, they were drifting up from the ocean tide. Like, you'd see the bodies roll up, and then they'd get up and walk on the shore. I don't think it's like Pirates of the Caribbean, where they can just walk on the bottom of the ocean floor all the way up.
I don't think that, like the whole, I'm going to go on an island and be safe would work, because the zombies will, like you said, just wash up.
Okay.
They're not governed by human rules.
Yeah, exactly. Like what you just said was that you actually you hit the bullseye. Like this past season of Fear the Walking Dead, they actually got into the science and physics of what a dead body would be capable of withstanding and enduring during like normal weather conditions. This past season of Fear the Walking Dead, there was a hurricane. And what did the hurricane do? It blew some walkers, some zombies that were just walking around, and they just blew up into the sky and flew away. Because all their bodies are just like rotting flesh and bone. And so the science and physics are still damn good on the show. Story-wise, that's what people have bickered and complained about, is that the story's not as compelling anymore. But let's digress back to when that all started. It all started when they started killing off a shit ton of characters all at the same time. And I feel like I can pinpoint it down to the prison season. Like when what was the name? T-Bone. Or T-Dog, when T-Dog died. It was around that time that they started killing off characters every other episode. And it was coincidentally, it was people that were not happy with their favorite characters getting killed off. And it was from there that I kind of pegged that's where all the angry momentum kicked. And so then ever since then, people just don't like the show because they lost a character they really related to and enjoyed. And so now here we are with what's left. And I agree with you, Spike, that how can you keep a show going if you don't have the main cast on it? Well, that's the point of the comic book, too. Rick dies in the comic early. Not early, but like he dies before when you would think, and then the comic goes on without Rick from other people's perspectives. That's
but the comic goes on with Carl being alive, and Carl's dead in the show too.
Yeah, and that was a contractual obligation, not contractual. That was a choice made by the kid who plays him that he just didn't want to be on the show anymore because he wanted to move on and do something else.
I heard they fired him.
I heard both, that they fired and he chose to leave, so it's a contradiction. But like, just the Lauren Cohan thing, that was a money thing, and I find it interesting that arose last year.
Y'all are making money. Give me mine.
Like, it all started last year, and that's when the rumors of Lauren Cohan leaving came out, and I just find it kind of interesting that broke last year around this time of the year, which was something else going on in the world. But, like, she wanted more money, and so they figured out a way to write her off, and that's what I've heard, is that she's leaving the show this season too, but they're focusing more on Andrew Lincoln's departure. Hell, even promoting this season, The Walking Dead Season 9, Rick's final episodes. That's how they're promoting it, because he's the main character. The show opens with Rick, like, and to keep the show going, and even Norman Reedus, who plays Daryl, like, he has even voiced that, hey, does that mean I'm the new main character? Awesome.
Yeah, you got. hey,
So,
you got to pay the man now.
right? And
Sure.
so, like, who would be supportive of a Norman Reedus-led Walking Dead show? Like, I would. I freaking love Daryl.
All right, time out here. All right, I gotta say something real quick. 2 things. Number 1, why should I care about The Walking Dead? To me, The Walking Dead died about 5 seasons ago when they started just filling all the gaps with slow, boring crap. Number 2, I think the reason why people don't like The Walking Dead anymore is because we know it's going to be drawn out. Where is the end in sight? You want to know what made the first or second, I think it was the first season, so compelling? Number 1, multiple things. Number 1, you see, oh shit, this town and whatnot, like flooded with dead walkers, you know? You were learning about them, learning about the people that were alive, and also you kind of saw an end in sight. They were trying to go to the CDC and get a cure and what's going on. What the fuck are they doing now? They're doing nothing. They're just, oh, hey, we're gonna make camp and we're gonna make some flowers and we're gonna make some vegetables and it'll be all right. No, it's not unless you kill all of them or figure out a cure. Or you go to another country and they're not there. I mean, there's got to be, what's the goal? What's the purpose? I don't want to watch it because it just looks long and drawn out. And as much as I liked the characters, especially with how Highball said Daryl, I would almost be tempted to watch again if I knew he was going to be the lead character. Not that I didn't like Andrew Lincoln's character of Rick Grimes. I liked him. I liked a lot of things about that show, but after the whole prison thing, and after that, it just kind of, okay, what's next? What's like Spike said though, it seems like instead of what's next, it seems like they're just taking a couple steps back and repeating the process.
Okay, let me take. Listen to me, brother. Let me tell you something, brother. You need to hear something, brother. What you're
Macho
getting
Man
at is that the show you got tired of the show once they started rebuilding. It was no longer on the run, killing zombies, trying to survive. It turned into, hey, let's settle down now and try to rebuild civilization. Originally, when Walking Dead first aired, and I still remember it vividly, like it was just yesterday, they promoted the show. Like the whole structure around Walking Dead wasn't just being the comic book, but it was the fact that they wanted to make a true horror show, like a horror movie quality TV series.
Season 1 was great.
And that was their main primary directive, was a horror TV series, hence why it was on AMC. And like that's what was working for the first season, 2 seasons honestly. But you can only do that for so long. But the fact of the matter that the series is what it is, structured around characters surviving in a world without internet and electricity and an economy and currency system. You know, like it's about it. Like Robert Kirkman's even said this, the creator of the comic, has said like it's not so much about zombies as it is about what the world would be like if it had to start over. And he just chose that a zombie apocalypse would be what has to make the world start over. And so, to make an entertaining show, yes, have zombies, kill zombies, blah, blah, blah. But to make it a symbolic story with an actual point, besides just surviving zombies, it's how does a world start anew when it's burnt to asunder. And like what you were saying, Roots, how the first season was great because it ended with them getting to the CDC and finding out some answers and blah, 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 blah. There's only so much you can learn about walkers, which the science behind walkers in the Walking Dead show is still thriving, to where like they've gone through season after season of like, okay, walkers are attracted to fire, walkers travel in hordes, walkers they float in water more than sink. They've delved into what walkers are and how they work. And in the backstories of who walkers were before, they still do that. They just don't spend enough time. They don't spend as much time on it because they have other living characters to deal with more story. And so, like, it's a prickly pear when you have to keep a show going as best as you can to try to keep the key in the keyhole when someone's trying to push the key out. It's a
prickly
bitch.
pear.
Like,
but then that's the thing though, where I think Spikes has a point. I don't need to see 100 seasons of it. Just if there's nothing else to go dive into, if you're just gonna try and keep characters' stories afloat, just end it. Nobody wants a stale, stagnant. I would rather have seen the Walking Dead show go out on top than to try and grab at the few remaining strings left and slowly wither away. I would rather see it go out on top with a bang, with people saying, "Oh my God, I want to see more of that. I want to see more of The Walking Dead."
I like it when they have episodes of the show that focus on the characters. Like, some people say, "Oh, that's the boring parts and everything," but those are some of my favorite episodes. But
I love that, but when they do it a million times for 50 seasons, God.
See, the problem you're getting at for like filler or whatever is these character episodes are cool, but then usually they go and kill the character off like the next episode or something.
Yeah.
It's like, why did I have a whole goddamn episode caring about this guy and then he's just gonna leave right after?
Because
like,
that's the heartstring puller. That's how they reel you in to love a character.
Yeah,
and then
you're not reeling me in. You're pissing me off.
But to do it for like every character.
And from, as they put it, from an artist's point of view, if they can make you feel something as strongly as that kind of emotion could be, then that's what they're going to go for, no matter what it is to get there.
Yeah,
like,
but there's
only
so much loss you can take.
Yeah, and that's what the show is. It's about loss. But then that's why they're rebuilding.
But it's depressing. Why would I want to watch like a depressing show for like
we've had this conversation many
seasons.
a time off mics and everything, Spike. Like it reflects the world and how much horror and negativity and depression and loss exists in the real world, but they do it through the catalyst of zombies and that kind of stuff. And so when you boast so many characters that give you a perplexing perspective of hope and how there's a future and there's something coming from this character that we want to see, and then they kill it off, it reels you back to reality that, oh shit, not everything is permanent. And I agree. They've killed off a lot of characters that, like, why would you do that? You had so much potential with that character.
Highball.
Right.
I have the perfect comparison for you. You've been watching wrestling for how long?
Comparison Ford?
Comparison Ford. You and I have been watching wrestling for close to 20 years now. Mm-hmm. On and off, but nowadays mostly off.
Yeah.
So think about this. What does wrestling do? What have they done?
It recycles.
Exactly. That's what The Walking Dead's doing. So in wrestling, when they do a storyline, the first time we saw it, it was, oh my God, that's crazy. They do it again. Oh, that's crazy. They do it again. Okay. They do it again. This is annoying now. They do it again. Okay, I don't even want to watch anymore. I think that's kind of, in a way, what Walking Dead does. When they do it so many times, they go from surprising you to making you, care a little bit less, to making you angry, to making you not even want to watch, because number one, you know it's going to happen, and number two, it's not what you want to happen. They're doing things to surprise their fans, but after the first couple times of repeating the process, basically it's just ends up annoying you in the end.
Well, as you say, it ends up annoying you from your perspective. In a universal, general point of view, not everybody. Like me, the reason I love the show, I'm going to pull a deep root. Pull a deep root out here. The show Roots, that was on back when we were younger. The miniseries, how it went from one character to another character to another character. It showed you 3 generations over a span of 100 years. And ever since I was a kid and watched that, I enjoyed how the story developed and played out that way. And so when it comes to TV, I actually root for a decade-long show where you actually see the characters evolve but then change to where it's no longer the same cast by the end of the series. Maybe one person or two, but in this case for like Walking Dead, I actually like how the direction they're going of taking off the main cast, because right now you only have Daryl, Rick, Carol, Maggie, and that's it. Those are the only 4 original cast members. And the moment you take out Maggie and Rick, you got Daryl and Carol. And so I actually like how it's progressed to where, hey, this show doesn't look anything like the show that I started watching back 9 years ago.
Because they're all dead.
That to me the good thing is that you can keep a show on the air and still keep people watching it, even though it looks completely different.
So we got a chatter. We got a chatter. Charlie McDingledorf, who said that they made it to season 4, and then they quit. So I think that's a common. Like, if you look at the ratings, like if you were to go actually look at the stats, I think it's just a downward slope. Like, it just keeps getting lower and lower with view count. But I think, you know what, Highball, I think you talked me into it. I'm going to watch the beginning part of this premiere just because I'm so intrigued to see how they get rid of Rick. I don't know how they're going to do it, and I actually
wait, so you mean you're going to watch the first half of the season?
Correct.
In honor of Rick
Okay.
Grimes.
All right.
Yes.
Well, seriously, Andrew Lincoln's done nothing for 9 years besides this show, so yeah.
Yo, Negan was kind of like a really, like, he came out really cool, and then he just fizzled. And then like the whole Negan thing got so drawn out and boring, and like I'm glad that they're
I
done
like
with
Dave
Negan
Chappelle's
and
Negan.
moving on.
Well, they're not done with Negan. Negan's still alive. He's in the jail cell.
Yeah, but he's not the main bad guy anymore. You know, like he's not the whole like.
The way they promote this season is that they actually have Negan saying like, "You're only rebuilding this place for me when I get out." Like he says that, so it's foreshadowing.
Oh God.
But in
come
the
on.
comics though, it does happen where they beat Negan, but Negan runs away, and then he comes back, and then they prison him, and then I can't remember after that. But like Jeffrey Dean Morgan plays Negan, he signed on for multiple seasons, so he's gonna be on the show still, probably as a regular character. And I would not even doubt it if they turned his character into being a good guy. Look what they did to Merle. Merle was an asshole, and they managed to make you like him by the end. And so imagine what they can do with Negan.
Well, in the comics, Negan's kind of a good guy, right? Towards the end there.
I don't remember anything after they beat him in the prison.
Yeah, I think he actually like helps them fight the Whisperers and shit.
Yeah, I think that's what it is too.
They actually, they let him out of jail, or he escapes and then comes back. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm gonna watch the beginning because I really want to see how they kind of get rid of Maggie and get rid of Rick, and but I don't see myself signing on for another 3 or 4 seasons.
I spilled my water. Hold on. Oh no.
Oh, we gotta watch Spill Emergency.
Not on the cable.
Take care of it.
No.
Take care of it.
So we've established that Negan is lame.
Well, I mean, he was cool, but I think they abused his character too much. Like, he should have been more. He shouldn't have been on screen so much, you know. Like, because the first time he did like a little speech, it was cool. The second time, it was intimidating. The third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, it got to the point where it's just like.
So there's a
it's just like,
pattern.
It's like
There's
there
a
goes Negan with
pattern.
his little speechy speech again, and it's just like really like lame.
So there's a pattern to all this. What's that pattern? You keep doing the same shit over and over, and eventually it's boring. Walking Dead, you need to end it. Please end it. End it in any way possible. Just end it.
All right, so this is season 9, right? If they can wrap it up, if they could somehow end it on 10, I'd be happy. But I foresee it going like even past that. Like Highball, weren't you saying they have it contracts for like 3 or 4 more years or something?
Yeah, they. Yeah. No, yeah. They do. It's still contracted for a couple more years, but I just.
God.
They just need to
just
build
need to,
up
like-
towards an ending. Build it up.
Yeah.
You can build the hype now, but you have to show a path. Guys, the town's not working out. This is our last hope. We got to make it to so and so. So they, one more.
You know what?
One more travel. Let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah, you got a great point there, Roots. Like, if they put all their advertising, imagine their advertising starts to say, like, a cure is coming. Like, and they just kind of hype up for the next couple seasons, like, how we can get a cure. And it's not like a joke. Like, it's a legit, like, something that's going to work. And, yeah, at the very end could be like they cure the disease. I would watch that because it has, like, something to go towards.
Hey, thank you for the follow, McDingledorf. I caught that. Appreciate the follow, man.
Oh, follow hype.
Follow hype. But yeah, definitely. If they started building up the hype now for a clear end, Tyler, this is it. This is it. Do or die. Do or die. The time to find answers or die trying. Everyone would be like, "Oh my God, what's going down?" And you would tune in. They just need to make sure that there is a clear path and that they are committed to an ending, to some sort of resolve. I think, like you said, if they would have done 6 seasons and had a path, they wouldn't necessarily have had to have killed everyone off, but they could have ended it with people wanting more. But instead, it's to a point where it's drawn out. They literally stretch the strings all the way, and everybody feels like they've seen everything they can show.
Right.
Hey, in the chat, Unknown Gamer, how's it going, man? We see you there.
Hey.
Walking Dead talk right now.
So, what do you guys in the chat think? Are you going to be watching this next season of Walking Dead?
Are you going to give it a try?
Because I'm definitely excited for just kind of like the whole, like what Highball was saying, Norman Reedus' character, Daryl. Yeah, like I want to see him step up and just become like the leader, because he's always being the quiet, silent type. I'd like to see some character development in him, and he becomes the new leader, and he actually comes out of his shell completely. And that'd be kind of badass to watch him just become the new main.
Let me chime in real quick on that matter, since you didn't watch last season all the way through, so you didn't see it in. I remember I've gone over reviewing some things to you in bullet points, but one big one was the fact that Rick didn't kill Negan. He almost, but didn't. He kept him alive.
He slit that throat so hard, though. I mean,
but
how do you not kill someone from that? That seemed really brutal.
So what had happened is that he showed the Saviors and his people that we can live in peace. We don't have to kill each other. Okay, out of testament of his son Carl, who died. That's what Carl wanted. So when it's coming up to the end there, you get Maggie and Daryl and Jesus, not biblical Jesus, like cool badass karate fighting Jesus.
Take the wheel.
And you have these 3 characters in
so dumb they called him Jesus.
You have these 3 characters in the Hilltop Colony office, where asshole used to be all the time, talking and being a dick to everybody. Like, you have them in there, and they're just talking about what the plan is to do now, because things are now working in their favor. And then Daryl steps in, he's like, we got to do something about Rick. And the music shifts downward, and it's Maggie and Jesus and Daryl looking at each other and talking about, what's the plan? What are we going to do? So now,
but that was so not in his character to, like, betray him like that.
I know. And so there's a clip in one of the commercials for promoting this season, and it's where you hear Rick saying, we change things. Like, things are different now. We change things. And Daryl goes, that's the thing, Rick. You changed it. So I'm intrigued in that story, because I'm intrigued with how Daryl and Maggie and Jesus are going to come around and say, like, this isn't what we wanted, Rick. This is what you wanted. But you did not give us a chance to put a vote to it. You decided to do your Rickmocracy bullshit and just make the choice for everybody. And that's what intrigues me for the season. is like, are we gonna see a civil war once everything was just fucking like resolved? Are we gonna see a civil war within the characters that we come to love for over 9 years? That's
Norman Reedus. Daryl Dixon would make a good bad guy, I think, though.
I don't know. I thought about it, but I don't know.
Like, he'd make a pretty badass bad guy.
Like if Rick was Goku, Daryl is Vegeta. Like, most
Yeah.
definitely. He is.
That's a good comparison.
But like Vegeta, that's what's great about
Over
that
9,000.
He turned into a good guy. But like, I'm gonna end it here because we're going. Oh, we're already over a half hour on this first topic. I'm gonna end it here though with just saying, at least give the first episode a chance. Like, you just like say you don't watch the first half of the season, but at least try and watch the first episode to see if it opens your eyes. Because after this past season of Fear the Walking Dead, this past season of Fear the Walking Dead, they kicked the show off. This past season of Fear the Walking Dead like it was a brand new show. Same characters with some new characters, but they made it like it was a whole reboot, and it felt fresh. And that's what it seems like they're doing with this season of Walking Dead, with a new intro and the fact that it's going to have a considerate time jump since last season to where things are built and better now. Like, give the first episode a chance. Like, this.
All right, well, in the chat, Unknown Gamer 453 says that he is going to watch the new season, and I think Charlie McDingle says he'll check it out. So I think you actually convinced some people here, Highball, that.
Hey, Charlie
Walking
McDingle,
Dead-
are you related to Angus McDingle by any chance? I know the McDingles.
Well, I'll tell
Alright,
you what, as being on the same level probably as Charlie McDingledorf here,
I love that name.
I might go back with the missus and watch and try and catch up, but two things I'm thinking. Number one, it's going to bore me to death and I'm not going to care. And number two, it's not going to hype me up for this next season to come because it's the
Where
same
did you stop
shit
watching?
over and over.
Where did you stop watching, Roots?
After those people caught him in the train cart and
Terminus?
yeah, it was that season where they got out.
Cannibals?
Yeah, where they got out of there. It was that season. It might
So
have
you
been.
didn't even see Negan at all.
No.
No, he stopped a long time before that. I know.
Who cares? Same
I know a lot of
stuff
people
over and
stopped when
over.
Glenn got his head bashed in.
Wait, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, like
Yeah, that
I know
happens.
I know you, Roots. There's some good stuff if you keep watching it. You're gonna be like, oh shit, oh man, oh this is cool. But the story itself, that's where you're probably questioning.
I definitely. I don't see myself watching this next season. But
I just
like Highball said, I think it's segue time. Who's got the segue? Segue time.
So now
Wait,
on
wait,
from
wait,
Walking
guys,
Dead
guys,
to something
guys.
what?
This is my Segway drum. Ready? Dum 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 dum. Segway.
The lowest budget segue you will ever see. I promise.
Here at Deep Roots Games, we got a high production value. All right, guys. So
Wait, should-
my topic.
Should we
So to
play
transition
music?
from my topic that is about something that's gone on for far too long, let's shift it over to Spike's big wide mouth that just has a lot of hot breath coming out all the time.
Yeah, mine's going to be a short topic, but it's something I've been thinking about lately. The idea of VR, video game, and kind of like where it is now. What do you guys think about it? Are you going to be involved in it? Does it excite you? So I think I'm going to go ahead and jump off and talk about my thoughts on it. I'm really thinking that PlayStation, the PlayStation one. Oh, I'm blanking on the name of it. What's it called?
PSVR.
PSVR, right?
Real
right.
simple.
Yeah, yeah. That one. I mean, the price value's right. I don't have to buy a PC or anything. So if anything, that's the one I'm gonna try. I'm just scared of it because I think I'm gonna get sick. But other than that, VR in general, kind of really, I feel like it's cool. I've always liked the idea of getting more immersed in the game you're playing. I remember being a kid and having a race car, what do they call that thing, like a steering wheel contraption with like the shifter driver on it.
Yeah.
And I remember absolutely mind blown. Like, cause like I would play racing games with a racing wheel and just so into it. I feel like VR will have that for me, where I just get really into it. But then again, that also might be bad because, like I said, I probably get sick if it's like a lot of motion and stuff. And I don't know if I could play a horror game with it. I mean, call me a pussy or whatever, but
Pussy boy.
jeez, man. I don't know, but I definitely feel like I want to try it. And there's nowhere to go to try it out in like a store. So I mean, $200.
Oh, wait,
I think
arcade.
that's what they're running now.
You don't have arcade near you with one?
I mean, it'd be like an hour away or something to get to an arcade. But VR is.
Spike.
I think it's. Yeah.
Just so you know, so you don't get too afraid, PlayStation purposely dumbed down their graphics to get more frames per second out of the headset. I think it's either 90 or 120, but they're higher than pretty much most other headsets, and they do that to help with motion sickness because I've used the phone before, that stupid the Samsung thing for your phone. I've used that before, and within a couple minutes it made me nauseous and sick for a couple hours.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't. Man, I can't live with that. I don't think. Oh, you know what I think is cool though? To go off the whole VR thing. Have you guys ever seen like haptic suits and stuff?
Yeah.
Yes, like the vests and shit.
Yes, I want one of those. I want to wear like so when you get shot in a video game, you get a little like jab in the vest you're wearing.
I want to feel how it feels to get shot as close as possible without dying.
Dude,
We all know you only want those suits for the porn VR.
Oh!
Want to feel that
Haptic
thrusted.
feedback in the nethers.
Oh man, no, but it's like think about how much better of a player you would be if you knew like when you get shot you're gonna feel something I just think I wouldn't bust into a room right away. You know, I'd think about it for a sec.
You know, what's really funny though is like imagine all those people who've been playing video games for decades that have been doing that to themselves to give them that immersive experience. They get shot in a game, they punch themselves in the face.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Charlie McDingledorf said here that he's interested in VR, but he wants it more advanced, and that he wants his whole body in the game. And I kind of agree with him. I think the ones you ever seen like the treadmills where like you could walk on the treadmill and like stick your gun up in the air and it's happening in the game. That blows my mind.
And you break a ceiling
guys.
fan in the room that you're playing.
No, I mean, how many years do you think before we get that in like our own houses? Like 20.
To be honest with you, I would be. I'm not gonna say it'll fail, but I think we would need another VR resurgence. I don't know, Mr. McDingledorf, how old you are, but back in the day, they did VR about 15 years ago or so, and you used to get on this platform, and you used to be able to move around the room and everything, and it was a real like entry level version of VR. And if you could imagine 10, 15 years ago, how primitive graphics for VR were and everything like that. It wasn't a very good system, but that was when I first fell in love with VR. I think we would need another like VR's not on everyone's minds for another 10, 15 years before we would see like a full body immersive, like crazy next evolution experience.
I went in on that though. I think I would definitely be all about that.
I would too, man. I've been waiting for VR for, like I said, the first time I saw VR in an arcade like 15 plus years ago, man, I fell in love with it. And that's something I've wanted ever since, man.
If I exercised in game in real life the same amount of time, man, I would be like so fit. Because like your character's running around the map like in all these games, and you have to be running in real life. I mean, it would be exhausting.
Oh, dude. But you're right. You know how many people would probably like just burn a couple extra 1,000 calories a day doing that?
Yeah, dude.
And
I agree with that.
over themselves and break their ankles and their wrists and a finger.
Yeah.
Knocking teeth out. Like those are the main primary problems that VR has right now. Is it's not safe. It's not safe.
So just to kind of to go off that the whole not safe thing to kind of end it off too, the idea of the future, right? Like Ready Player One, you know, when we're all in the VR and it gets dangerous where no one wants to leave the VR. Like, I mean, that is, I think, our future. If I had to guess at it, I see like the future of what do they call those places where the old people go? Retirement homes. I see retirement homes just being a bunch of old people with headsets, and they're just in there doing whatever, living their young life.
San Junipero from the TV series Black Mirror, yeah.
Yeah, okay, sure. I didn't see that one, but yeah, I can see it. I can see us all living in a virtual world at some point.
I haven't gotten my 2 cents in really here. Like, here's where I stand on VR. It's only going to work really well in 2 fucking mediums: horror, adventure, and rides. That's it. Horror, adventure, and rides. Those are the only mediums that VR is going to work in, because anything
sporting
else,
events and concerts.
I'm talking about video game wise, not just using it for any kind of event in your life. I'm talking about just for video games. Horror VR games are the only way to go, because it's the only real thing to get you into the game. If you were to do Uncharted as VR, that'd be fucking amazing. But that is such a beyond belief interface system that
it's got to be first person.
That has an interface system that we are nowhere near having yet, because it's just way too complicated. Horror though, all you gotta do is put somebody in a old crickety house, have them open doors and get spooked, and then find clues to get out of the house, and that's it. Like, I've watched so much VR shit to where it's like, wow, horror games are the hot commodity when it comes to VR. I wonder why, and I've researched it and studied it, and that's what it is. Horror games are the only fucking VR game that really get reactions and responses from people. Now, personally, in my mind, I've thought about a VR game. What's better than a scavenger hunt? A virtual reality scavenger hunt that you kind of put it in an emulated form of like an adventure game. You know, Indiana Jones VR treasure hunt, you know? Like, that would be cool.
Yeah, totally. Like, I think it's underused. There could be so much cooler stuff than is out there.
I personally love VR. I love the idea of it. I would own it if I could afford it. If I had the space for it as well, I would own it without having to rearrange my living room anytime I wanted to play it. I love the idea of it, and I want it. And I think, like Charlie said earlier in the chat, I kind of want to see it get a little bit more advanced. And I think if it got a little bit more advanced and it was, like Highball said, just, you know, a little bit out of its primitive state, then I think I would like it. Like, you still, when you're playing a game in VR, you still need to feel like games make you feel. If I could really survive an island with dinosaurs, would I be playing a game about surviving an island with dinosaurs? If I could really play football at an NFL level and pull off one-handed catches and juke moves, would I really play a football game? So these are like, if VR transitioning to games still needs you to make it feel like games make you feel, like someone you're not, like a more powerful version of yourself, like kind of like a superhero, like Uncharted. How many times does Nathan Drake make some crazy ass jump hanging from a ledge? Like
3 times a game.
Yeah, and that game just, like, you're like, oh my god, I made the jump, and that's crazy. Did you see the part where you had to cross the bridge and it was crumbling? And if I could do that stuff in real life, and if that's what my real life was comprised of, I would never play that game.
You just made me think of the best VR game to do. Tom Cruise, he does all of his stunts game. And you're just looking
Mission Impossible, the VR game.
And all his movies where you're like, holy shit! And then you get the VR experience of running like Tom Cruise with a hand going,
Oh, is that the Segway drums?
But
Segway drum.
I have
Assassin's
one more thing,
Creed in
though, just to-
VR.
I have one more to add into it, like, and that is the fact that, like, it takes a lot. I don't get scared easily, and so it takes a lot to scare me. And so I've played a few horror VR games, and I've tried out some roller coaster VR stuff, and I've tried out some puzzle stuff. The horror ones are the only one for me personally because, like, I'm not scared easily, and those scare the shit out of me. And it's like you put in, and I had the full immersed experience. I had the big old block on my head, which, by the way, I ain't playing no fucking VR until they figure out how to get rid of the block and make it more, practical to your fucking face.
Like if it was just sunglasses, like the
Yeah,
like
like
the HoloLens.
if it was like Google Glass kind of shit, then yeah. But I had the block on, and I had the headset on, and they were Bluetooth earbuds, by the way, so I couldn't hear shit outside of the game. And I had the
Did you
headset
pee your
on,
pants?
it was the Insidious. It was the Insidious
Oh.
VR game. And
You pooped a little, didn't you?
Bro, dude, I was
pooped a
sitting there
little.
not able to hear anybody around me, and I didn't even realize how high I was yelling. And as I'm in the game, I'm getting goosebumps, and I'm sweating, and I'm starting to freaking scream, and then all of a sudden I take my headphones off, and everybody around me on the floor rolling around laughing because they're like, "Oh my god, you're screaming your ass off!" I'm like, "Oh, it's fucking scary, bro!" Like that's why I say horror movies is one of the only mediums really that it's gonna work best in, because that's the best horror experience.
True. All right, segue. Let me get my drums. Oh crap! I picked them up.
McDingledorf said nausea simulator. Yeah, like I said, the one time I played VR, that made me so nauseous. Oh, segue. Deep Roots. Deep Roots, hey, Self, what's your topic today? My topic
What you got to take? What you bringing to the table, Roots?
I am bringing to the table a sensitive, touchy
Oh,
subject.
it's time to get emotional, everybody.
We're gonna get real emotional in here.
Don't you make me cry!
Come here, give me a hug. Give me a hug.
I am not gonna make you cry. I'm gonna make you salty.
Oh, salty.
Oh boy, what makes you salty in games? When you're playing a game, what are you self-aware enough to know what makes you salty? What makes you angry? What makes you triggered in games?
Uh-oh.
Spike,
Uh-oh.
Spike, start us off. Triggered.
Oh man! All right, so I kind of get the idea what you guys are going to talk about. So I'm going to talk about something a little bit different. I get triggered in games when I cannot be consistent. I have the biggest trouble with kind of, let's say I win a game and then I lose a game, win a game, lose a game. I can't ever keep the same momentum, and that pisses me right off, dude.
It makes you trigger!
Oh, triggered. Yeah, that's kind of the biggest thing for me. And I hate when I get in a game and it's just filled with like the little kids squeaking and everything and talking crap. If I have the option in the game to turn off like
Little kids under a certain age.
in-game chat, like let's take Rocket League for instance. Does anybody play Rocket League? In the chat, if you play Rocket League, do you have the what's it called, the quick chat up there in the top? I completely disabled that.
Satan, it's
because-
worse.
Yeah, I mean, if I miss a save and then a little thing pops up, oh, good save. Oh my god, that triggers the hell out of me. So
Sticks and stones, man. Sticks and stones.
I turned all that shit off because I cannot stand all the little fucking little, oh, you suck and all that bullshit. I'm like, nope. Go away.
Hey, you're right. Hey, that makes me very salty, and I purposely make a mission out of it. I'm so vindictive that I water at the mouth when they screw up so I can fire back.
Yeah, so Rocket League chat and me not being consistent is the salt of the earth right there for me.
Highball, what makes you triggered?
Stupid questions like this. Moving on.
Oh, I have no answer because I'm pure salt. He's made out of pure salt, everybody. He is a pure bottle of Epsom salt.
I'm a goddamn just a peanut.
You're not even a bottle of salt. You're a bag of salt.
No,
Pool salt.
what makes me salty in playing a game? Like, okay, two halves to this answer. Part one, what makes me salty in a game where I'm alone in just a one-player game? What makes me salty is when you fucking play a mission over and over, over and over again, and you keep dying, and you just can't get fucking something right, and you keep screwing up, and then it is, I know everybody can relate to this. When you strive so hard to fix the problem, and then you finally do, but then another problem arises to where it's like, fuck, I gotta get this pot over to that platform, and you finally get the pot over the platform, but you forgot to shut the door, and then, oh, you failed the mission. Like, ah! that makes me so angry, because it's like, I know the game is meant to be like that, that's how it made it be fun, but, like, it's just... I know what you're talking about, man. Perfect example. Remember, this is my part one of a two-part answer here. Part one, Rogue One. Or no, I'm sorry, Rogue Squadron. Rogue Squadron back in the day. The whole fucking mission where you're on Hoth and you're flying the goddamn with the snow speeder and you're going around the legs. And the game is broken enough to where you're trying to wrap your fucking cord around the legs, and the cord keeps skipping and clipping through the legs. And you're doing everything right, but the game won't fucking recognize it. And I swear I did that mission at least 100 times before. I remember it took me weeks to get that one part of the mission.
That's funny.
Like, that was just so... And there's another part of Rogue Squadron to where you're flying in the valleys. I can't remember what it was. I think you're in the X-Wing. And you're flying in valleys, and you're looking for the cannons to destroy. And then I think the generators to destroy. And every time I'd find the generator, I'd shoot at one, and I wouldn't destroy it before the time ran out. And it would be like, okay, I went all different routes. I made it faster time now, but every time I get back towards the end... Oh, nope, wasn't fast enough, even though I did everything to get there faster. Like, it's that stuff that triggers me in a one-player, just-me game. What is under us? Yo, we're getting attacked by a Pego.
Oh, crap! Dinosaur attack!
I have to agree with Highball there. Yeah, that.
Can I throw something in real fast before you go?
Yes, throw it in.
I have my second part. I have my part two to my answer, though.
All right, wait. Escort missions in a game.
Yes. I don't want to escort you.
Hitman.
Escort yourself.
Hitman, right there.
So
Triggered.
the game's like, okay, take this severely underpowered person, make sure they survive, and get them to another area. It's like, wait a sec. I have to babysit in a video game? Salty!
I'm supposed to be a superhero, now I gotta protect somebody's salt.
Alright, go ahead with your part two, man.
Oh wait, Highball.
Salt.
Highball.
Salt.
I can imagine us not knowing each other at the time, but both screaming at the scream at the same time in different parts of the world, because I remember that damn mission as well. I think I rented that game from Blockbuster when I was younger, and I remember playing that mission all night and all day the next morning trying to get that damn mission to get complete.
Yep. That's what gets me in a one player. But my part two, my second half to the answer here to the question, is what triggers me in a game where I'm playing with other people. It is when shit's going down and everybody's running amok and everybody's got a plan, but no one's willing to listen because everybody's being hysteric, and then everybody bitches once they lose. That's makes me
are you insinuating something?
It's all your fault.
Yeah, boy.
It's all your fault.
I am insinuating something.
It's all your fault.
When we play games and y'all are listening, and then we lose, and then you
It's all your fault. Get in the water.
Motherfucker! Ah!
Triggered.
Triggered. He is triggered.
All right, Roots. What makes you salty?
Everything both of you said. Everything Highball said, everything I said, everything you
All
said.
right, what's a real salty game?
So, all right. So, for me, the biggest trigger, and I like to say that I'm mad at myself, and I am.
You like to say that you like to get salty?
I am. I used to be really, really good at games at one time. I remember back in the day playing GoldenEye, and you know the aiming controls. If you remember the aiming controls on that game, if you try and go back and play it now, it is the worst. It's Resident Evil. Yeah, it's Resident Evil sorts of bad. So, back in the day with GoldenEye, I used to be able to literally turn a corner, see someone, and within half a second to a second, aim for the head, boom, they're dead. I don't know where that came from. I wish I got competitively into games at a younger age. But I used to be that good. I play games now and I wonder where the hell that went.
You got old. That's where it went, man.
You got old.
So nowadays, when I'm playing, let's for example say a shooter, and I don't hit a shot, or I know somebody's in one room and I know I should go around the side and come up behind them, but I don't. I always tell myself, and that is the just okay. I always tell myself, I'm like, damn, you should have played that better. You know better. Da 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 da. No, I think I just suck. And I just get triggered, and I'm like, dang, you know you could have done that better if you would have went around this way or that way. But in the moment, I didn't. So that just makes me, just knowing that there was a better way, or seeing the resolve that would have came in me winning. When I see what I did and I evaluate what I did, I tell myself, damn, you could have won that if you would have done this. And I just, boom, in my head, I explode and I'm triggered. And then when someone tells me something on top of it and it doesn't make sense to me, don't tell me shit.
All right, anybody in chat? Does anybody in chat have any therapist phone numbers you can give to Deep Roots? He's gonna need some after this.
There's nothing better than a Roots rage.
Roots rage!
Roots rage! I'm raging!
It could be so funny. Roots could get like 10 kills in a video game, and then he just dies once, and then he rages like hell.
Yep. Next thing you know, 24 hours later, we're hearing that he has to buy a new console because that console he threw out the window.
Hey, if I'm playing H1Z1 and I got 10 kills, and I have the best armor in the game with the best gun in the game, and I've already wiped 10 people, I'm thinking in my head, damn, this game's in the bag. This game is money. I'm playing great. And then I lose, and I shot that person 3 or 4 times, and they shoot me once, and I go down. I just lose it in my head.
The salt is real.
Oh man, I go grab the whole bag of salt and I pour it on the table.
All right, I think we've been running a little long here.
Nope, not really. Like, we're at 10:33. We're actually less than when we were last week.
Nice.
Wow, that's not bad.
Let me walk over to the transition drums here.
Let me just tell you, chat room. Roots gets so salty, he gets so triggered that he's willing to break a newly purchased Christmas present, being an Xbox 360 controller, within like 3 weeks after receiving it, and he breaks it.
I've never done that. I've never done that.
Wow, okay, you're gonna say no to this present that I got you 1 year, and you broke that shit within a month because I was online with you and you said, yeah, I just broke it, and you acted like it was nothing. I'm like, what? I got you that. Like,
when was that? I don't remember. It's a bad memory. Don't bring up bad memories.
He had so much salt he forgot. Like, he blocked it out of his memory.
I did.
He's triggered so bad he causes himself to go into a deeper coma.
Alright, well, anybody who's stuck around this long, thank you guys so much for watching.
Yes, please give us a follow. Give us a follow, please. And join us every week Saturdays, 9:30.
Yeah, Deep Roots Games plays streams a variety of games all week long with Roots here. But if you want to leave us a follow, we'd much appreciate it. We have a YouTube. It's called Deep Roots Games. We're going to archive this video there as well as some other good videos. So check that out too if you don't mind.
Oh, wait, you know what we didn't do? Anybody in the chat, if you have a suggestion for the name of this podcast, you can either voice it in the Twitch chat or go over to our YouTube channel and comment on the videos, and we will see it. We are still searching for a name for this podcast, as it
and
is.
as we've said before, we will take all names into account until a very long, indefinite period of time until we decide which one we're going to go with. So it's not going to be like next week or at the end of the month. It'll be somewhere down the road.
Or it may never happen.
For as long as we can stay on, yeah.
All right, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure as always.
Yes, I think it's...
Roots, take us out!
Gentlemen, I think it's game time. I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate your salt. You guys are gonna get some more salt tonight from me. I hope you're ready.
Ooh,
That sounds really perverted.
I hope you're ready. Oh, I'm giving you all the salt.
Oh.
Take us out, Roots. Play that music.
All right. For Deep Roots Games, I am Deep Roots. Hi, Boss Spike. Anything for the listening crowd on our way out?
I love you guys. See you next week.
We're going to be on for a little while tonight. We're going to be playing some H1Z1 probably. Ruth's probably playing some Destiny. We're probably going to go over and play some PlayStation.
Rocket
PS Plus
Chicken.
vendors. Rocket Birds 2 Evolution. Tune in, turn on the stream, and watch us play some chicken game.
Yes, we're going to play some chicken game. And for everyone here at Deep Roots Games, the tribe, appreciate you guys. Give us a follow, and we'll see you guys later. Goodbye.
I love you. Bye-bye.